do? Bring this up now? Am I on? Okay. Okay,
Quincy is on Tim Sheet.
He's going to be a while, so let me... Yeah, he's going to be a while, so let's do a zoom here. Take him.
Okay, let's hear it for the North Quincy Queen, Terry Duggan in her court, and the Quincy Queen here in the fourth in her court, and the two.
Here comes the man. Okay, and we're going to do Dawn, stand right here. You're going to do Dawn now? Dawn. Dawn.
Good morning and welcome to the 63rd Thanksgiving Day game between the Quincy Presidents and the North Quincy Red Raiders. I'm Don Hayes. Happy Thanksgiving. Good afternoon, good evening, tape delay, you know, depending on when you see this. I have notes. I'm going to start from my notes. Number 2. First of all, hats off to the North Quincy and the Quincy High girls volleyball teams, respectively. Quincy played North in the regional finals, and North Quincy defeated Quincy in a very good volleyball game that I happened to witness. North Quincy went on to defeat Dracut and then went on to lose to North Barnstable in the state finals. I'm sorry. Barnstable, not North Barnstable. It's morning, I'm sorry. Also, the North Quincy cheerleaders have been invited to appear in New Year's Day Citrus Bowl in Florida. They will appear depending on your funds and your contributions. So keep those cards and letters coming, folks. It's all up to you. Okay. Number 4. In the Battle of Seniors, Quincy has already won 14-13. 8 of the Quincy seniors are starting. 11 of the North Quincy seniors will start. That may have an impact in the game. I really don't think so. Today is just all emotion. So whether you're a senior or not, it's got a lot to do with it, but everybody's pumped up for this one. I give a slight edge to Quincy in the line. They have a little better size, a little quicker, a little more mobility. North Quincy scoring is pretty well balanced. Quincy's main man has been Kevin Conley. He scored 10 touchdowns for the Presidents. Both teams have good speed. Offensively and defensively, both teams have featured consistent inconsistency. This game will feature contrasting quarterbacks. North Quincy's Jimmy Rendell, more of a drop-back passer, and he's been throwing the ball real well lately, will make his first Thanksgiving Day start for North Quincy. Quincy's Mark Glynn hasn't had to put the ball up that much this year due to Quincy's style of attack, but has rushed for 5 TDs this year. Glynn is 1-0 as a Thanksgiving Day starter. Both quarterbacks wear number 17. In the series, Quincy has 30 wins, North Quincy has 27 wins. There has been 5 ties. Quincy won 21-14 last year. Quincy has not been able to win back-to-back Thanksgiving Day games since 1977 through 1979. How even are these teams, you say? Both teams have 3-6 records. Both teams gave up 35 points to Falmouth. Both teams got shut out by Weymouth. North allowing 28 points, Quincy allowing 27 points. Both got shut out by Bridgewater Raynham. North has been shut out 4 times and held to a TD once. Quincy has been shut out 3 times and held to a TD once. Quincy scored 33 points on Taunton. North scored 35 on Taunton. North has scored 124 points. Quincy has scored 123 points. I expect an exciting, even football game between 2 intense rivals. It's nice to see that you can come down here on it's about 35 degrees, the field's in good shape. It's a little cloudy, there's a little bit of a breeze, but it's a good day for high school football. These kids get to come out here, bang heads for a while, and then go home and have a meal. I wish I could be doing it, but I'm past all that. I hope the game's going to be a tie. I am going to make a prediction. I'm going to give you a score. I'm not going to give you a team, though. I feel a 20-19 score coming on in this game. I have no idea who. Let your imaginations run wild. So sit back, relax, digest your food, ingest some high school football. This is Don Hayes. We're going to listen to the national anthem. We're going to send it up to Charlie Ross. I think we're going to have a great high school football game. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. See you later on the sideline. Back to whoever.
Here, the boos, so that means North Quincy, led by cameraman Chris Dolan, assistant coach Peter Chisholm, and head coach Ken McPhee, who's already made his way over to the far side. Well, we have a rare treat today. All year, the bands for Quincy and North Quincy come dressed in their civilian clothes, if you can call it that. They don't wear uniforms. They sit below us. They don't march in the field or anything, but maybe Bernie's Modern Formal Shop has a band uniform rental, because for the first time this year, and this has been the story for a number of years, that they only wear their uniforms on Thanksgiving Day, so it's nice to see them in uniforms. They ought to wear their uniforms.
It's not a uniform, though.
The whole year, as far as I'm concerned, and they ought to march out in the field. Each band is going to go out. North Quincy has made their way across the field, and here comes the Quincy Presidents, led by their head coach, Peter Cella. So that's my little editorial comment, that they ought to wear uniforms all year, and they ought to march, because Quincy's a big enough city. Excuse me, they deserve to have a couple of marching bands. Here come the Quincy Presidents. You can hear the roar as they are led by their captains. Quincy, the home team today. They're in their blue jerseys, white pants, the blue helmets with Quincy across the side. North in their road uniforms, black pants, white jerseys with the black trim, the black helmets with the arrow decal on them.
Well, Charlie, both teams are really prepped for this ball game. Did a little statistics. You know how I like to count.
Yes.
And I was sitting down this morning at breakfast looking at the schedules of all the teams, and actually I counted how many games there would be in Eastern Massachusetts this Thanksgiving morning, and it came out to approximately 110 football games will be played this morning in Eastern Massachusetts. So that says a lot for high school football in this part of the country. I've coached in Michigan and New York, and been in other states at Thanksgiving. They don't have this tradition in most states. Any other state that I know of doesn't have this Thanksgiving tradition like Massachusetts does, and they end their seasons the week before Thanksgiving. So this is something special we have here in Massachusetts that, to my knowledge, no other state has, and it's great for the high school kids. And looking out here this morning with the blue uniforms and the white and red, black and red uniforms across the hall, and a nice field, it really gives me a great feeling. Being an ex-player, player and the next coach, the old blood starts tingling. I like to be down. I enjoy being up here, but I certainly like to be down in the field. I guess Roy's ready for the kickoff.
Yep, here's John.
John, rather, I'm sorry.
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. And the co-captains are being introduced to each other, and we'll get with referee Bruce Sutcliffe.
Officials for today's game. The gentleman on my left is Mr. Lynch. He's the umpire, and I might remind you if at any point during the game there's a question as to the legality of your equipment, you direct that question to Mr. Lynch. The gentleman in the middle is Mr. Conley. He's the field judge, and he will be on the Quincy side of the field. I might also remind you that that's an official clock, therefore there'll be no 2-minute warning at the end of the second and fourth periods. If that clock malfunctions at any point during the game and we keep time on the field, you direct any timing questions to Mr. Conley. Okay, Mr. Jennings is to his right. He's the head linesman. He'll be on the North Quincy side of the field. We'd appreciate your cooperation, captains, and keeping your teammates in back of those sticks so we can operate the chain crew. My name is Mr. Sutcliffe, and I'm your referee. Now, North Quincy, you are the visiting team. You're going to call it. We have a head and we have a tail. You call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll do it again. You call.
Tails.
You called the tail. It is a tail. You've won the toss.
Start of the second half.
You want to defer your option to the second half.
Yes, sir.
White has won the toss.
North Quincy has won the toss. They are going to defer their option to the second half, Charlie, and we're almost ready for a football game.
And John doing his usual bit to get out of the way because the two teams line up and just go out and huddle their captains. And Tom Fitzgerald, you've been in this situation as a player and a coach. What goes through your mind at this point after everything has been done and it's just the game?
Well, it's great. When it comes down to this moment, all the talking and all the second guessing and all the politicians have been talking to the team and all the alumni. It's great, but it's all over. Now we're going to play the football game. Actually, if you're a coach, in the coach's standpoint, you're relieved. Now we're going to do what we were paid to do. We're going to put a football team out there, and we're not going to go at each other. We coached them all year long, and if they're not ready now, Janet, they never will be ready, so it's up to the kids to do it. As a player, you're nervous. You know it's a big game. You come out here, you see the biggest crowd you ever played for in front of, and you're nervous as can be, and you run down that field, and after the first tackle, you figure all about it and start to do what you were told to do by your coaches. So it should be a great game this morning. I'm really looking forward to it. Here's the national anthem, I think, Charlie. Is it? They'll all be standing?
No, I think they're going to...
Oh. So, yeah.
No, they're going to march out. So let's take a 30-second timeout as the bands come out to the middle of the field, and we'll be right back. A show for Thanksgiving, and it's really a shame, and we have two good football teams that represent the city well, and we ought to have a couple of bands that do the same.
I'd like to say too, Charlie, that my class 1945 donated $1,500 and their 50th reunion to the Quincy North Quincy High School for band uniforms, the specific purpose to buy band uniforms. So I hope next year that that money goes to uniforms, and maybe the city can add a few dollars so that both teams, North Quincy, both bands, North Quincy and Quincy, can have some new uniforms and be up to a par with the rest of the teams in this league.
All right, the Quincy High School band out on the 50-yard line right now. The two bands facing each other, and John is going out. We'll use his microphone to get the national anthem by the combined bands of Quincy and North Quincy High School right now. Quincy High playing the fight song. You're listening to News Info 1300 WJDA Quincy. I'm Charles Ross, Tom Fitzgerald alongside John Nicholson and Peter Palmer down on the field. Dennis Knudsen back at our Quincy studio. That's our broadcast crew today, and we're very pleased to be here. This will be our last broadcast from this venerable old press box. They're going to knock it down on Tuesday, and next year we're going to have a brand new facility that paid for in part by the Quincy Community Television Council. So this will be the last one in this grand dame of press boxes. It's been our home for 20-some odd years.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness they're going to tear it down, Charlie. It's going to fall down if they don't. Here we go.
Let's take a 60-second timeout, and then we'll be back with the kickoff. Quincy, Kevin Conley, and Mike Sheffer will be the receivers. Quincy defending the north goal. The goal to our left. The wind blowing from south to north, up and down the field. So North Quincy with the wind advantage here in the first quarter. North Quincy, as we said, the visiting team, they're occupying the far stands today. Quincy, the home side, down below. Coach Peter Cella, and what must be going through his mind? First Quincy-North Quincy game, the pressure must be intense.
Oh, yeah, I talked to him before. Peter keeps everything in, but I'm sure he's pretty nervous. He said he's ready. His assistant coaches are all primed. They've been working hard this year, and he said his team is ready to play. But Peter's been on the bench before. He coached with me. He and Billy Maven, as you remember, now the great coach at Acton Boxborough, who's been undefeated for 2 years.
Yep.
And Peter, great coach. Here's the kickoff.
And we get the kickoff. It is a short kick. It's going to bounce at the 15. In and out of Conley's hands. He picks it up at the 16 to the 20. Stood up at the 20-yard line and taken down by Brian Walsh. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Quincy Presidents at their own 21-yard line. As we said, Quincy moving left to right here in the first quarter. And we gave you the starting lineups on both sides. Mark Glynn, the junior quarterback, playing his second full year, and he has done a good job this year for Quincy. If you had to give an offensive advantage to either team, it might go to Quincy because they have been more diversified this year than North Quincy has been. Backs off set, wideouts left and right. Sheffer and Nunez, the wides. Pitch going to the tailback. That's Conley trying to sweep back to the line of scrimmage, up to the 25-yard line. Stood up there and taken down on the stop. Mike Ferguson for the North Quincy Red Raiders.
Well, nice sweep. Both guys pulled. They got picked up a good 4.5, 5 yards on that. Good blocking out in front, Charlie. You just said Quincy should have the advantage offensively, just going through their first 5 up front weight. 185, 245, 220, 205, and 185. North Quincy's defensive line, 190, 170, 170, 185. So they got a great weight advantage up there on that offensive line.
Playing 10-minute quarters today. It's 2nd and 5 for Quincy at their own 25-yard line from the eye. Give to Conley again. This time he goes left side, gets through the line, gets up over the 30, close to first down yardage at his own 31-yard line. Good second effort by Conley. Hit originally and was able to keep going, and it is a Quincy first down.
Great off tackle play. Basic off tackle play. Fullback knocked the end out. Tailback run up inside the hole. Everybody blocked down and picked up a good 4 or 5 yards. So Quincy's so far looked good. Knott's line is staying low. They're in a 4 defense. Now they're shifting into a 5, 52.
Quincy comes out at their own 31-yard line, moving left to right here in the first quarter. Glenn play action fake, drops back, looking to throw, and he is sacked as the rush came in. Well, Paul Picciano just took him down as Picciano came in from his defensive position as the nose tackle, and a sack. Loss of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and long for Quincy.
Well, he didn't even get his hand up on that play. The North Quincy line, he faked into the line, took 2 or 3 steps back, and just as he got his hand up, 4 or 5 North Quincy linemen laid into him. But just shows that Quincy is going to try to diversify their offense. 2 running plays, then a pass play. They didn't wait till 3rd down to do it. So
it'll be Nunez to the left, Sheffer to the right, 2nd and 17. Ball middle of the field, line of scrimmage at 24. And they give it to Conley. Once again, he gets over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Stop there made by Charlie Plaskalavitas for the North Quincy Red Raiders, one of the defensive ends.
Well, Quincy's in a little hole now. They get 3rd and 15, so they're going to have to pull either a screen or a pass to pick up this long yardage. It'll be interesting to see whether the coaches will gamble down here in their own territory so early in the ball game. You don't seem to want to put that ball up right away, but they did on that 3rd down. So they didn't have much success. So it'll be interesting to see what the call will be here, whether they'll make it conservative. Looks like they got a triple wide out over this right side over here, so look for the pass.
Dunn, lone man in the backfield. It is Conley, Nunez, and Sheffer as Glenn goes back to pass, setting up a screen, complete at the 25 to the 30, 35 up to the 37-yard line. They're going to be short of the first down. John Ryan hauled in the pass, but a nice screen off the misdirection, and it's going to be 4th down and just a couple of yards.
Nice call by the offensive coordinator on that one by Quincy. Put 3 wideouts here to the right side, left the left side open, and threw the screen over there to the left side of the field in the hash mark with 3 linemen blocking. Almost got the first down. Nice call. As I said, it would either be a screen or a pass on that play, and they certainly went to form. But here's the kick.
And Quincy punts it away. Good snap from center. John Ryan gets it away. A bit off the side of his foot. Bounces at the 45 and is going to be down by Quincy at the 43-yard line. North will take it 1st and 10. We're scoreless. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Lousy kick.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't step into the ball. He just...
Quarterback.
It's on in.
Quarterback of the 30. Jim Zanaboni of the 49.
Let me know, Bill, when they want to go.
Quarterback number 21 is Sean Johnson.
North Quincy goes on offense. The Red Raiders 1st and 10. As Jim Rendell hands it off straight ahead to his fullback. Not much doing there. Gets just about a yard. That is about all. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for North at their own 45-yard line.
Well, Johnson's in there at At tailback, I thought maybe Walsh would start, but Johnson's at tailback and Zambioni at the fullback spot, I believe. So
Yep, and now
Walsh is in there with his red shoes on, which
Yep.
you like, Charlie.
Yep, you can't miss those. Walsh the tailback, Zanaboni the fullback. Rendell pitches to Walsh. Walsh cuts it left side, 45 up to the 47, and is ridden down by Bill Dunn of Quincy at the 47-yard line. It will set up a third and about 5 for North Quincy.
A nice little counter play there. They faked the pitch to the right side, and Walsh took a step to his right, came back. A little counter play in there, picked up a nice 5 yards. He's going to be the one that Quincy's after. He and Johnson, but especially Walsh, is the one that Quincy's going to have to stop today. He's hard to bring down. He's small, but he's tough, and I'm sure Quincy is primed on. They say to themselves, we're going to get 3 or 4 guys on this tackle every play.
On third down and 5, 2 wideouts to the right, just 1 man in the backfield. Now Zanaboni goes in motion. Rendell bootleg left side, looking, has a man, and it is incomplete, intended for Tim Zanaboni down at the 35-yard line, as he found a hole in the coverage of Quincy, but Rendell's pass a little bit overthrown, and it will be 4th down, and North Quincy will be forced to punt it away.
Well, Rendell did that. He stepped to his right, did a reverse pivot, and came over here to the left and a little sprint out pass. But he running full blast. He threw the ball a little bit high. It might have been caught, but there were 3 or 4 Quincy defenders right around both receivers. So Quincy defense shifted over well against that pass.
Jimmy Finn will kick it away. Mike Sheffer is back. Number 9 punts to number 9. Finn gets a nice punt away. Sheffer fields it at the 20. Goes to the right, to the 25, looking for blocking. They can't find anything, and is finally thrown out of bounds at the 26-yard line, where Quincy will start. We're in the first quarter and scoreless, back in 30 seconds.
Good.
First down at their own 26-yard line. Receivers left and right, I formation. Dunn and Conley. Dunn the fullback. They fake one way, give it to Conley. Count his left side, 30, 35, 40, 45. He's to the 50 and is taken down in North territory at the 46-yard line as Bill Dunn runs it up the left side for 28 yards and a Quincy first down.
Nice run out. Get outside the tackle. Nice little hole. Get outside. And what he particularly had was the wide receiver, Eric Nunes, blocking downfield, which opened up that play for him. He stayed right on his man so that Dunn could pick up that long yardage. Nice play by Quincy.
4:16 to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Receivers again, left and right, same formation. Glenn bootleg going right side, throws complete to Dunn out of the backfield, flag down. He's to the 40, he's to the 30, still on his feet to the 20, down to the 5, and they are going to, I'm not sure whether they're going to call him in or out of bounds. I think he's going to be out of bounds.
No, I don't think he stepped out. He calls it, but I watched him carefully. He didn't step out, but it's a flag back here on the
it's coming back. It's going to be against Quincy.
Oh, boy, tough break for Quincy. Good break for North Quincy.
And we did not see what the preliminary call was.
Must have been a hole or a clip back here.
But it is coming back, so it's going to be wiped out. And so this will cut down at least a big gain for Quincy. And if not a touchdown, holding against Quincy is the call. So it's first down once again, but it'll be 1st and 20 now for the Presidents.
Well, it was a tough one because the holding was way across the other side of the field. That's where the lineman threw the flag over there. Had nothing to do with the play over here, but it still counts. Big break for North Quincy on that one. A beautiful run down the sideline.
All right, it's 1st and 30. It was from the spot of the hold. I formation, some movement, and I think Quincy jumped offside as One of the tackles jumped, so that's going to cost them more. So first and 35, Quincy digging a hole for themselves right now.
Well, it's too bad, that kind of penalty like that after a great run kind of has a letdown on the team. They were all excited. They thought they had that touchdown, and now they come out, they got the penalty, and now they come out and they jump the gun and they're offside, so they're back with 20, how many yards to go? About 35 yards to go
yep.
after a first down, so that kind of takes the heart of them, but they'll have to shake that off.
They're at their own 30. To get a first down, they have to get to the north 36-yard line. As Glenn calling signals, hands it off to Conley, nothing doing, as North Quincy's Chris Koch just nailed him, and it's going to be second down and 35.
Yeah, Koch has played good football. I think this is his first year out for football, and he's come on strong this year and made some good plays, North Quincy, in the middle of that line.
Kind of an interesting call on 35 to go, and you're running the ball, but trying to catch North Quincy off their game, expecting pass, but it did not work.
I think they're going to play a little conservative down here. They want to get some good field position, get up around the 50 and then open up. You don't want an interception down here in a close game like this.
Second down, Glenn gives to Conley, going left side, breaking a tackle, 30, 35, on his feet to the 40, up to his own 42-yard line. So a gain of 13 yards for Kevin Conley.
Nice run by Conley. Again, a simple off-tackle play. Good blocking on the hole. Fullback on the end. Somebody cleaned, the guard came through and cleaned up the linebacker and picked up good yardage. So Quincy's moving that football very well. North Quincy coming across that line very strong, but they got to stay in their lanes. They can't be cutting in and getting out of their lanes because when they do that, somebody will cut across on a counter and pick up a hole.
Third down and 23 for Quincy. Just one man in the backfield. Again, they work trips. Glenn back to pass. Here comes the rush. He gets it away, and it is incomplete. As Brian Walsh was a 18-wheel semi coming in on Mark Glenn, who got it away and threw it into what was a big pile of North Quincy players. He is fortunate that was not picked off.
Well, they tried a middle screen. As you said, Walsh was in there, and I watched him. He came in from this left-end position. Nobody picked him up, which is, is tough on the passer. But on a screen like that, you usually kind of leave him alone. Or you have got a halfback pick him up, but they didn't pick him up. Here's a punt. I hope he gets some foot into this ball.
John Ryan, not a good kick once again. It's going to bounce at the 39, 38-yard line and be down by Quincy North. They'll have it first and 10, 2:13 to go. First quarter, we're scoreless, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Down by Bill Dunn at the 39-yard line. First and 10, North Quincy.
Gets the pitch up over the 40 to the 45 and bounced out of bounds in front of the Quincy bench at the 47-yard line. Gain of 8 yards from Brian Walsh, who showed the speed to the outside.
Well, here he is again. That's the guy that they've got to stop in that backfield, Walsh, and he picked up some good yardage, but he got hit by 2 or 3 people over here on the sideline. But he's the guy that's got to get the offensive going on the ground so that Rendell can start his play-action passing.
Second down and 3 for Quincy, or for North Quincy, excuse me. Rendell hands it to Walsh over the 45 to the 47, just maybe a gain of a yard. Don McCarthy made the stop for the Quincy Presidents. And it's going to be third and short yardage for North Quincy at their own 46-yard line.
Well, Walsh didn't make much on that one. They had 3 people right on. They practically picked them up and threw them down. But he'll keep coming at you. And then Zamboni's right in front of him. So I think you'll have to see Rendell open up with a little play-action pass here.
Full house backfield. They give it to Walsh. Walsh puts his head down, and he appears to have the first down.
Pretty close.
Well, we'll see.
All depends on the spot.
Yep. And And we're just looking across and
Little
see that
shot,
he did
little
not
shot.
get a good spot, so it will be 4th down. The officials are going to call timeout for measurement, so let's take another 30-second timeout.
There's 1 minute 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That is the official time. Fourth and less than a yard for North Quincy.
I tell you,
experience.
we've been doing it right all
North
year.
Quincy's going to go for it, that's for sure, right there. And they'll either be Zamboni or Waltz right off tackle or right up. Maybe they'll even try the quarterback sneak. I don't know how Rendell is on. He's not bad on this one, so 6 inches, he should be able to get it.
4th and 6 inches in North Quincy at their own 48-yard line. They give it to Walsh, puts the head down. He's got it. First down to the 49-yard line. He needed 6 inches. He got about a yard.
Yeah.
North Quincy keeps the ball as they get another 4 set of plays. They have the wind at their back for another minute and 2 seconds. 10-minute quarters being played here at the stadium this afternoon, or this morning, we should say. My clock stopped at 10 minutes of 10.
To tell you something? I don't-
Yeah, it tells me something. I don't,
Buy a new watch?
yeah, get a new watch or a new battery. I don't know. All right, 1st and 10. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Rendell, play action, fake, drops
Oh,
straight
he's
back,
going
looking
deep.
long, has a man, and he falls down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah. Oh, he went deep on that one.
Matt Kylty fell down. He was working 1-and-1 with Mike Sheffer and just lost his footing at the 20-yard line.
Well, he looked like he had a couple of steps on Sheffer too, but just he had to turn his body around and twist, and lost sight of the ball for a second and just went by him. So here's when North Quincy went for the big play and the play action. But, you know, Charles, a funny thing, this first half has been pretty much of a defensive ball game, which has been the weakness of both teams this year, and this played, you know, between the 30-yard line.
Absolutely. Rendell, play action, fake, drop straight back in
Screen.
2nd and 10, setting up a screen. And he threw that one way out of bounds. Intended for Tim Zanaboni. It was almost caught by the Quincy offensive coordinator, Bob Noble, who's getting a laugh out of it. You didn't know you had a game of eligibility left, did you, Bob?
Well, Ken Rendell really got racked there. The two big linemen in there for Quincy really racked him. They both hit him with the left and right shoulders, so he had to drop back to show that screen, but he took a beating in throwing that pass.
3rd and 10 for North of their own 49-yard line as they have Tim Simchenko and Brian Walsh out wide looking for one of them. Throws it to Walsh, and it is incomplete. Hit Walsh right in the shoulder pads and bounded away. That was very close to being a lateral, but it was a forward pass, so it is incomplete, and North Quincy will be forced to punt it away. Tim Simchenko, Tom, I saw him at Quincy Sun. He's going to be singing in a concert at North Quincy High School. So he's not only a football player, but he's an accomplished vocalist as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
4th down, Jim Finn will kick it away for North Quincy. Mike Sheffer set to receive. Finn puts the foot into the ball. Nice kick. Sheffer receives it at the 16, goes to the right, looking, trying to turn the corner, and gets out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Fumble, but it was well out of bounds. So Quincy will take over. We are scoreless, 16 seconds to go in this first quarter. And we'll hold it right here as we do have the change of quarters.
Yeah.
It is amazing, Tom. It's been a defensive battle.
Yeah. And you know what I like, Charlie, on that last play, too, I was going to mention that one of the weaknesses North Quincy's been their special teams all year on punt coverage and on pass coverage. And so far in this game, on two punts they've covered the field, and they haven't given Sheffer any room to run. So they've improved 100% on their coverage. Sheffer usually can break some yardage, but they're right on him.
Well, Sheffer's gone right both times, and North Quincy has had the lane closed. First down, Glenn hands it off to Dunn. Dunn flag down, and as He gets up for about 9 yards to the 36-yard line, but I think it's going to come back.
There was holding right there in the middle. He had, can't pick up the number, but it was so obvious that he had him down and he was holding him on the ground. Now he's throwing up his hand saying, "What did I do, ref?"
We won't mention the guilty party, but
who, me? I did that.
well, if you're watching QC TV, you might see the guilty party, but we won't mention any names here. But it's a penalty, and Quincy has kind of dug a hole for themselves twice with penalties in this first quarter.
They had that long run and called back. And now this penalty on top of it, they can't afford. Really that hold had nothing to do with the play either. The same with the other one on the other penalty, where they scored the touchdown, not even near the play. So shooting themselves in the foot on that one. But they are moving the football.
And we've reached the end of the first quarter at the stadium. It is 0-0. Let's take a 30-second timeout, and then we'll be back with second quarter action.
Hello on the sideline. End of the first quarter. Quincy and North Quincy, no score. Pretty even game. Kevin Conley had a couple of nice runs for Quincy. They got a few first downs, maybe 2 first downs. A nice swing pass to Billy Dunn was negated by a holding penalty. Penalties have hurt Quincy so far, and it's early. Both teams have had the ball twice. Both teams have come up with nothing. Pretty even game. Still nice. It's a little warmer. The wind is cut down a little bit. I'm freezing, but that's okay. I would like to say to the North Quincy and the Quincy captains, Quincy High School, Mike Sheffer, Bill Dunn, and Pete Colson, and the rest of their teammates, good luck in the game and good luck with the rest of the school year and the rest of your life. And I would like to say the North Quincy captains and rest of their teammates, Tim Zanaboni, Paul Picciano, and Chris Ritchie. Good luck with the game, good luck with the rest of the school year, and good luck with the rest of your lives. This is Don Hayes. We're going to send it back up to Charlie Ross, and hopefully somebody will score some points. Back to you, Charlie.
With a view.
Okay.
All right, it is 0-0 after 10 minutes of football, and we swap ends now. Quincy defending the end zone to our right, the south end zone here at the stadium.
Well, Charlie, I thought this game was going to be a fairly high-scoring game. I said maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns by each team, but, it looks like a defensive battle so far. They've got each other pretty well pegged. They've scouted each other well. Maybe some big play is going to break this game wide open, but right, it's been pretty close. As we said, just those 2 penalties here at Quincy, and North hasn't really got their offense going yet, but I imagine they will.
First down and 20 at the 16-yard line, and a handoff straight ahead to Kevin Conley, and he got absolutely nowhere. So,
well, what bothers me, the Quincy kicker hasn't been getting good kicks off at all. He's only been getting 20, 25-yard kicks off. He doesn't seem to have good technique. He doesn't seem to put his foot in the ball and follow through. He just seems to stand up and more or less kicks like a statue and doesn't get much power into the kick. So if they have to punt from down here around the 15 to 20-yard line, that's going to give North Quincy pretty good field position. So Peter's team has got to get out of this hole down here.
As the Presidents have 2nd and 20 from the 14-yard line, and now we get a whistle, and Quincy's going to be called for delay of game.
Oh, they got to move.
Oh, my word. Quincy, as you say, Tom, is digging a hole for themselves right now, and North Quincy licking their chops. If the defense can hold them, they're going to get pretty good field position off a punt.
Yeah, it isn't North Quincy defense is doing it to Quincy right now. It's Quincy doing it to themselves. And if they have to stand in that end zone and punt anywhere around that 10-yard line, if they don't block, if North doesn't block it, it certainly will be North Quincy's ball around the 30-yard line because he isn't getting good punts, as I said before.
Ball is at their own 8-yard line. 2nd and 25 for Quincy. I formation. Receivers left and right. Glynn goes down on the option. Can't find anybody. Now looks, throws across. It's intercepted by North Quincy. Mike Ferguson has it at the 20. Excuse me. At the 15, and down is Mike Ferguson. North Quincy first down.
Well,
Beautiful interception by Mike Ferguson on a pass that Mark Lynch should never have thrown.
Absolutely, Charlie. Never should have thrown that ball. If he had thrown it, he should have thrown it deep. He had to receive it down here about 20 yards, who had the North Quincy defender beat, but he threw it short, and it was picked off. There was nobody in that area 10 yards upfield beyond the line of scrimmage but North Quincy people. And he threw it right in there. He threw it on the run. I bet you he's saying to himself, now, why the heck did I throw that football? And it was a nice pickup by North, and here they are down on the, 15-yard line knocking on the door.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Best field position of the day for either team as Rendell calls signals. And he gives it to Johnson on the draw. Up the middle, he's to the 10. He's to the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Goes Sean Johnson, the senior, 5'8", 175 pounds. Great blocking up the middle by the offensive line. And it is 1st and goal, Red Raiders at the Quincy 4.
Well, you know, Johnson made a nice move. He get up to the line of scrimmage. He's got great coordination. He can stop on a dime. He get up. He was going to run to the right. Stopped dead on the line of scrimmage. Looked over slightly to his left, found a little hole, and did a little cross leg and went right up into the hole. And here they are down on the 2 or 3 yard line, ready for Walsh back and tailback.
First down, they give it to Walsh. Up the middle, falls forward, and he gets to about the 1 yard line. As Rendell calls signals to Zanaboni and Walsh, they give it to Walsh, and he's in for the touchdown. North is on the board first. It is 6-0 with 7:36 to go in the first half.
Well, Walsh just lined up at tailback, just went off the left side. Zamboni leading the way, opened up the hole. Good touchdown. North Quincy certainly took advantage of that bad field position that Quincy shot themselves into by penalties, and they picked off that pass and put the football right across the goal line. So here's the kick for the extra point.
Jimmy Finn with Tim Semchenko to hold, looking for the 7th point. Snap, ball down, kick up long enough, high enough, but it is no good. And we've got a penalty. I think we're going to have roughing the kicker on Quincy. As Finn down on the ground, we did not see it, but I would suspect it might be roughing the kicker.
I think so.
And if so, North will get another shot at it.
Well, down here got blocked, I'll tell you. There was some seepage on the right-hand side of the North Quincy offensive line, and they down there blocked it. But he kind of got off the top of the ball, went over to the left of the crossbars.
Well, the penalty is going to be assessed half the distance.
They might go for 2 now.
Go for 2, exactly.
Yeah. Kenny talking to him over there. I think he's going to let him go for the 2.
Yep. Roughing the kicker is the call against Quincy. And so that ball is at the 1.5. And it looks like North Quincy is going to go for the 2.
I certainly would right now. No, he's not going. Well, this early in the ball game, going by the chart, but...
well, you never know. Maybe there's a fake.
Yeah, it could be.
Semchenko, the backup quarterback. Nope, ball down, kick up, and it is good. 7:36 to go, first half. It's 7-0 North Quincy. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Intense close-up. They got anything? No. Good.
Less work, more money.
Thank you very much, Dennis, and we'll be also keeping you posted on that Weymouth-Brockton game as Dennis will be back at the station checking in with Charlie Bergeron on that one. So stay tuned for updates on that as well. Here it is 7-0 North Quincy, all set up by a Quincy interception deep in their own territory. Brian Walsh busts in for a yard. Quincy guilty of roughing the kicker, and North gets a second shot at it, and they put the second one through. Shepard takes it at the 15, heading left side of a 20, 25, 30, looking for some room.
Nice run.
Cutting back, looking for some blocks.
Look at him go.
50. He's to the 45, and finally Mike Shepard is driven out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Nice run for Mike Sheffer of Quincy.
Well, he come all the way down this sideline, Charlie. All the North Quincy players come over here because he can run, and he cut across the field.
We got a penalty.
Got a penalty down here, probably a clip. I don't know, though. He's pointing against North Quincy. He's talking to the Quincy kids. But, gee, it'd be a shame to have something go down wrong with that run. As I said, Sheffer, they have him pinned in. I just said that in the last punt.
Yep.
But you get him pinned in, but, boy, he'll do something to get loose. He's a great football player. I guess there's no penalty.
Offside against North
Quincy, great.
Decline.
Yeah, okay, because, you hate to see a good run taken away from a kid like Sheffer. He's a great ball player, offensive and defensive. He's the one who will break any football game for Quincy, so... it's lucky somebody from North got him over there in that sideline.
Well, it's a wonder there wasn't clipping because usually...
There is on a play like that.
On a play like that there is, but there was not. So Quincy 1st and 10 at the North 41-yard line. John Ryan in motion. Glynn on the option. Pitches to Bill Dunn. Dunn trying to get outside and does not as he was taken down by Steve Rose of the Red Raiders after only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make some yardage on that, but Rose came up quick and made a nice shoe line catch, tackle, as you said, Charlie. I think if Dunn had turned it on a little bit, tried to beat him to the outside, he might have beat him, but he tried to more or less run over him.
So Quincy with their best field position of the day, trailing 7-0 in the game with 6:51 to go here in the first half. Glynn calling signals with Dunn and Conley behind him. He gives it to Conley. He's to the 40. Got a hold. 35, 30. Still on his feet. 25. And finally tackled by Brian Walsh at the 20-yard line is Kevin Conley. A 20-yard pickup and a first down for Quincy.
Well, what happened on that play? The North Quincy end, Walsh came in too soon. He lost his position. He came in too soon for the tackle. And the runner, he went right up inside him. So... Walsh, being over anxious to get on the tackle, fooled himself and didn't hold to his position and hold contain, and that's why that run went.
Now Quincy first down at the 20, just one man. That's done in the backfield. Mark Glynn asks for timeout. So time in the field, 6:17 to go in the half. It's 7-0 North Quincy. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Two teams huddling with their coaches. Ken McPhee huddling with his defense right now. Peter Cella, an offensive coordinator. Bob Noble with their offense.
Charlie, I see Dr. Fishbach from the Braintree Rehab Hospital down here. He was on the sidelines when I used to coach. He was the athletic trainer for years for Ohio State. Now he's in charge of the rehab at Braintree Hospital. So they've got a good man down there on the sidelines in case of any injuries.
And
he donates his time coming down here, and he likes. I said to him before the game, you still miss being on the sidelines after all these years.
First and 10, Quincy at the 20, pitched to Bill Dunn, trying to sweep right side, in trouble, and is brought down at the 25-yard line. Steve Rose making the stop for the North Quincy Red Raiders, dropping Dunn for a loss of 5.
Now they run that sweep, but Dunn's got to be a little quicker. He had people out in front of him, but he went out too wide. North Quincy end made a great tackle on that play. Just nabbed him before he could make any yardage whatsoever. Good defense in there for North Quincy. Good line play by both schools up in there. Real hard-nosed football in those trenches this morning. They're going right after each other.
Greg Fernald, the center, over the ball. Same formation with the eye. Give to Conley up the middle. Got a hold to the 20. Dragged down at the 18-yard line is Conley on 2nd and 15. So came up with about 6 there. It will
fumbled and recovered.
He fumbled and recovered. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Right over there. All right. Yeah. Tackle made by Chris Ritchie.
Just going to say, that's funny. I was just going to say that Quincy, if they want to get in there and tie this ball game up, they can't make any mistakes, such as fumbles or offsides. That's what they've been doing in the first part of this ball game. So if they want to score, they can't shoot themselves in the foot again.
3rd down and 8 as Conley goes out wide. Nunez and Sheffer are the wide man. Now Conley goes in motion. Glynn on a pitch, halfback option pass over the middle, and it is incomplete. The option pass, Mike Russo in the ball game in the backfield, threw it intended for John Ryan at the 5-yard line, but it was a bit underthrown, and it's going to be 4th down for Quincy at the North Quincy 17-yard line. I think that came from the Jack Raymer playbook, a little halfback option pass. Peter Cella does not plays good solid football, but does not display the riverboat gambler, if you will, that Jack Raymer has had at Quincy for many years. Peter Cella's first year. He's done a great job for Quincy on 4th and 7. Glynn back to pass. In and out of the hands of Bill Dunn, who kicks the ground in frustration at the 18-yard line as Dunn tried to catch it on the off shoulder. Could not. Falls incomplete, and the North defense holds. They'll take over 1st and 10, 7-0 North, 4:36 to go in this first half.
You know, it should have, could have, would have, but if he had, that ball was just over his outside shoulder, a little bit high, and if he could have, would have hung on to that football, I think he would have down there made a touchdown, because he had almost a clear field down there between where the ball was thrown in the goal line. So a tough break for Quincy, a great break for North Quincy, good defense by North Quincy.
On 1st down, the pitch to Brian Walsh, sweeping right side to the 20, 25, 30. Breaking tackles over the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. Finally brought down by Kevin Conley, and there's another penalty flag thrown, and I think we're going to have a personal foul called against Quincy. Walsh holding his head. The
another flag down.
Training staff and Dr. Fishbaugh, as Tom mentioned, just going up. Personal foul against Quincy. So the Presidents have been their own worst enemy so far in this football game. A nice run by Walsh, and you tack on 15 more.
I can't understand why it was an awful late call. He was down on the ground. I didn't see any penalty, but they must have saw something out there. Walsh was down holding his head, and then they threw the flag down. But a great run by Walsh. Was the foul.
Yep, he's up. He walked off, or ran off the field under his own power, but throw the 15, and the ball in Quincy territory at the 47-yard line. North Quincy 1st and 10.
Well, Johnson's back there in that backfield. He's a great runner, too, taking nothing away from Walsh, but Johnson's a great finesse runner, not the power runner, but he can turn it on, and he has great finesse back there.
And they give it on the misdirection to the 35-yard line to Johnson, and that is another 1st down, a gain of 14 yards as Sean Johnson with 1st down yardage, and Quincy looking a little down in the mouth right now. Maybe they might call a timeout.
Is Johnson back in again now? Is Walton there going out?
Let's see.
Or is that Johnson? I don't know. No, I guess.
No, it's
Walsh.
Walsh.
Yeah, too bad they haven't got both of them that back there between Walsh and Johnson. I tell you, it's a toss-up. Who's the best runner in there?
1st down and 10. North Quincy. Ritchie goes in motion. Rendell gives it to Walsh.
Oh boy! Oh
right
boy!
At the line of scrimmage. Did anybody get the number of that truck? Dan Nickel.
Oh boy, was he hit! There were 4 of them right in that middle of that football, and he put his head down, but they just cracked that noggin of his, and he went back. He didn't make any yardage on that. So Walsh has taken a couple of hard hits in the last 2 plays. On the long run, he got hit hard too, and that one he sure did. But there's a timeout here for Quincy. 73 is talking to Dr. Fishbaugh over there.
Joe McCarthy, and he didn't want to come out, but timeout taken by North. So with our score 7-0, let's take a 30-second timeout. It is 2nd down and 12 for North Quincy as Rendell has trips to the right with Walsh in the backfield, fumbles the football, picks it up, and is down at the line of scrimmage.
You know, I was kind of waiting for that, Charlie. Rendell on the handoff from the center. I was watching them pregame practice, and he dropped it 3 or 4 times when they were running plays out here in pregame practice. I thought it was kind of unusual for this late in the season to have trouble with the exchange between the quarterback and the center, but there it happened again, and North Quincy unfortunately lost it down on it.
3rd and 15. Walsh, lone man in the backfield. Tom Coughlin in the ball game, and now Walsh goes in motion. There's nobody behind Rendell as he drops back, looking to throw, looking right, and it is incomplete. Looking for Coughlin at the 30-yard line, and Coughlin hadn't caught up to the ball. Mike Sheffer on the coverage. Sheffer, if that ball had been a little higher, might have had an interception. So now North Quincy, 4th and 15 at their own, at the Quincy 39-yard line. And they're going to be forced to get rid of it.
Yeah, a little screw up on that pass routes there. There were two men in the area, and I think it was supposed to be a look into the wide receiver, but he threw it awful quick, and the inside receiver was in the way, so I think there was a little foul up on that play. North Quincy wasted 2 downs in there, unfortunately for them.
Well, timeout on the field.
Then Jack Garrity, then Hank Conroy, Tom Fitzgerald.
And
here we go.
As Rendell is nailed by Mike Russo, and Russo got him up high. I thought the referee was going to call a face mask. He did not, but the Quincy defense holds, and they have the ball. 1st and 10 did for Mike Sheffer. First down, nothing there. 2nd and 10 for Quincy. 2:35 to go. First half. North leads 7-0.
Yeah, it's I tell you, Charlie, these kids are playing great football today. This is a typical North Quincy game. Looking down at the stands here, the whole end zone is filled. Most of the seats are filled. At least a few seats down here on the Quincy side on the far end. But great morning for football.
On 2nd and 10, Conley in motion. Dunn, lone man in the backfield. He gets the handoff, and he gets to the 44 and is driven back. Good defense once again as Dunn stopped by Eric Malamaze for the Red Raiders, and it will set up a 3rd and 9 for Quincy. 2:17, clock moving. We have news from our WJDA studio coming up, and then more football action. Glenn gets the signal from Bob Noble, the offensive coordinator. Sheffer splits out wide to the right. Nunez is left. Conley and Dunn in the backfield behind Glenn. He fumbles the football. Big pile up. North says they have it. Let's see what the Zebras say as they're pulling the bodies away. It is North ball.
Again, Charlie, early a bad exchange between the center and the quarterback. North just did it. Now Quincy did it. This is terrible to happen in a game like this this late in the season. You expect it early, but high school kids will do it. They'll surprise you all the time. That's what gives Peter Chella gray hair and Ken McPhee gray here too. So you think you got something going, then something like that happens. Takes the stats right out of the offense.
Well, minute 49 to go in this first half. North of the ball at their own 44-yard line. Quincy needs to come up big defensively right now. Rendell bootleg, rolling left side, looking, throws a little pass out, and it is caught. They say caught. Had to wait for just a minute. Charlie Plaskalavitas with a penalty flag.
This is going to be against Quincy, too.
As Plaskalavitas hit the ground, the ball kind of came loose, but he kept it from falling on the ground. And another flag as...
Might be a face mask, I'm not sure, but something happened over there as he caught the football.
Our officials have yet to give us a preliminary indication. Referee Sutcliffe looking at the yard markers. And it's a first down no matter what. As Plaskalavitas picked up about 13 yards, but whether there's 15 tacked onto it, we will see. The officials still huddling up.
Well, it can be an intentional or it can't be. It can be a 5 or a 10 or a 15. See what happens.
Pass interference.
Interference,
Quincy, so it is an automatic first down anyway. First down.
Not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it might have been a face mask.
So it is first down North with a minute 36. They have the ball at the Quincy 42-yard line. Brian Walsh, lone man in the backfield behind Jim Rendell, whose father is the successful volleyball coach at North Quincy. They give it to Walsh. He stopped and then turns and comes outside. Gets inside the 40 to the 35-yard line as Brian Walsh was just stumped right up the middle. spun out and turned what would have been no gain into a gain of about 7 yards.
Well, he'll do it. He'll find some way to get yardage. He'll either run over you, run around you, spin out from anybody. As you say, Chow, it was a beautiful spin out and picked up some good yardage. Quincy's got to tighten up their defense now. They don't want to come in at halftime with another 6 or 7 points on their board, and North Quincy would certainly love to get another score up there with less than 2 minutes to go.
2nd and 2 from the Quincy 35-yard line. Rendell on the handoff to Wall. She may have the first down as they needed to, as he stretches the body out. Dan Nickel making the stop for the Quincy Presidents. We'll see where they mark it. They do not give him a good spot. They only give him a gain of a yard down to the 34-yard line. So it will be 3rd down and 2 for the North Quincy Red Raiders, who lead 7-0 in this football game. 54 seconds, and now North asks for timeout. 52 seconds to go in this first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Again, a reminder of the North Quincy Boosters 50-50 raffle. For $1, if you have the winning raffle ticket, whose number will be announced
They will be lucky
today,
that,
you will take home half the money taken in during the sale of the raffle.
They will be lucky.
The other half goes to the North Quincy Boosters.
7-0, as Quincy has been their own worst enemy.
Yeah, they have, Charlie. They really hurt themselves. You know, they made some nice runs. They had a touchdown fall back. They made some nice runs. Sheffer made a nice run on that return punt. They've been playing good football, actually, but the penalties have hurt them. Now this fumble has put them in the exchange of the center. Has put them in a tough spot, and North Quincy's taking advantage. Walters in there, tailback, and he's a tough nut to stop. As he just said, he spins and finds way to gain yardage. North hasn't been great on their passing yet, but
3rd and 2. Give Wall flag thrown. He's down to the 31-yard
might be a hold.
line. That could be holding against North Quincy. If it is, I believe that's the first penalty of the day against North Quincy. And Peter Cella waving frantically to send them back. It is a hold against North Quincy, and the partisan Quincy fans right down here below us are giving a bit of a cheer. So it will be a penalty tacked on against North Quincy with 47 seconds to go in this first half, and a 7-0 North Quincy lead. They will mark this one off, putting the ball back to about the 45. They put it exactly at the Quincy 45-yard line, as Rendell has not
3rd and 13, all of the Quincy 45.
And now with the 3rd and 13, he's going to have to, and they've got 42 seconds clock moving.
they'll throw now. They got to throw now. They'd like to get another one aboard, so that Quincy defense is going to have to come up. They have to put pressure on the QB and have good coverage here.
Johnson, lone man in the backfield behind Rendell. Zanaboni goes in motion from right to left as Rendell drops straight back. Here comes a rush. He's sacked.
Oh, he handed off.
Handed off, excuse me, on the misdirection to Johnson. He's to the 40. He's to the 31. The ball is going. I did not see him hand that off that ball. I went.
Well, I think it was the old Statue of Liberty play. I didn't see him put the hand up. He might have handed down in front, but it was
Here's the
certainly.
replay.
Yeah.
Just before he was hit.
The old Statue of Liberty play. That's it. Nice play. And boy, can this kid Johnson run. He's got great moves. He was stopped back here on the 40-yard line, and he took the
one. North's not going to get the play off as time expires. Some poor clock management by North Quincy. Cost him a shot, but it is 7-0 as North Quincy with the lead over the Quincy Presidents. And
Kenny McPhee is furious about
that. Nicholson's got Peter Cella.
Coach, you played a good first half, some bad breaks.
Oh, we did not play a good first half. We played a very poor first half. We're in a ball game, and that's good. We played very poorly, a lot of penalties. We're still in this ball game, and that's very good.
You've been able to move the ball well.
Yeah, we have, but the penalties have really killed us, and that's unfortunate. I think we should be at least tied, perhaps even not, but the penalties have really hurt us.
Coach, thank you very much. And that was Peter Cello, the coach of the Quincy Presidents. And I'm trying to find Kenny McPhee. Charlie, I don't know if he's
gone in.
I think he's
gone in. Okay, we'll get Kenny when he comes out. But it's been a good first half of football, and as you folks up in the booth have pointed out, they have been able to move the ball pretty well, but they didn't have much to show for it as they go into the locker room down 7-0. Peter, your impressions of the first half here?
The defense on North was impressive. They held the line. They didn't let it go over. There's a couple of turnarounds. The penalties on Quincy's side is definitely hurting them at this point.
All right, Charlie, we'll send it back up to you and Tom, and when they come out for the second half, we'll see if we can talk perhaps to both coaches and find out what they told the troops here at halftime.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, and obviously disgruntled Peter Cella, and deservedly so, as they Quincy shot themselves in the foot more than once in that first half.
Yeah, that's true. And as a coach, you say, no, you had bad breaks, and you say, no, we played poorly, because if you play well, you don't shoot yourself in the foot, and you don't get those penalties. And Peter was right up front and said so. If Quincy hadn't performed a couple of bad plays and got those penalties, there might be a different phase in this ball game. So I think he's talking as a coach.
Go at the start of the third.
He sees it in that perspective, and you can see that he feels as though his team is not out of this football game. They're going to come back second half rolling. Looking at North Quincy's side, Kenny McPhee is really happy. They took advantage of the Quincy mistakes, and Walsh is running well, and I think Johnson is running tremendously also. So he's got two great backs in there, and it's nice to be able to put them in there. Rendell hasn't passed that much. He hasn't had a chance to, really. That Quincy line, is, as soon as he puts his hand up, has been all over. So they've really taken the passing game away from North Quincy. So anything can happen this half. I thought, Charlie, that this would be kind of a high-scoring game, but it ends up that both defenses...
Well, hello, we're at the half. North Quincy 7, Quincy nothing. Little bit of a surprise in the first half. Quincy kept shooting themselves in the foot pretty much. Penalties hurt them. They turned the ball over a couple of times. A big play by North's Mike Ferguson to pick off a pass. Mark Lynn's pass sailed a little bit on him, and Mike picked it off. Then Brian Walsh banged it in from 1 yard out. The point after was no good, but Quincy, there was a penalty on Quincy. That gave Jimmy Lend-Me a Fin another opportunity to put it through. He made good. 7-0 there. Mike Russo for Quincy High made a nice rush on J.R. Rendell and sacked him for a big loss. Quincy really didn't generate a lot in the second quarter. Emotion right now is all North Quincy. Quincy a little bit down going into the locker room. I expect a better performance from them in the second half, and we'll see what happens. Right now we're going to send it to the halftime festivities. Happy Thanksgiving. Go get another drumstick. Here's the cheerleaders and then the bands. Take it away, guys.
Who's on two? Who's on? here. We're gonna have to cover it from behind.
is taken down at the 25-yard line by 8. Count them, 8 different blue shirts.
I count 11.
Well, there were 3 back here.
Well, they were coming off the field. Boy, they were all...
It always reminds me of the late Charlie Lowe, former police officer in Weymouth, who for many years did the public address announcing over at Foxborough for the Patriots. And on a play like that, he simply said, tackled by everybody.
Take no prisoners, right?
Yep. So it is first down for the North Quincy Red Raiders. They lead 7-0 over Quincy as we get the third quarter underway. Jim Rendell on the handoff to the wing. That was Ryan Walsh. He's got a couple, still fighting for yards up to the 27-yard line, and is brought down. Steve Wilshire in there on the coverage for Quincy. Good gang tackling for the Quincy Presidents. Scott McPherson getting up from the bottom of the pile along with Mike Russo. Second down and 8 on the 2-yard pickup. Good crowd on hand here. The wind picking up. As we said, it is blowing south to north. So it is in the North Quincy face in this third quarter. Pitch to Johnson, trying to sweep. Fumble the ball, and who's got it? A big fight. Quincy says they have it, but let's see. As they're still fighting in there, Johnson had the ball stripped.
Let's get it back.
And North got it back as one of the linemen, Paul Picciano, saved the day for North Quincy, but Johnson had that ball stripped, and fortunately, North held on to it.
Well, a Quincy kid had a hold of it out just after he dropped, and it spurted out of his hands, and Picciano picked it up. North Quincy pretty lucky on that one.
Absolutely. So it is third down. They even picked up a yard out of it. So it's 3rd and 8 as Rendell, bootleg fake, rolling out, rushes on, breaks away from one man, now running with it again, and is hit at the 20 and taken down. Good pursuit. Peter Colson puts him down, and it will be 4th down. Quincy coming out of this second half looking much more inspired than they did in the first half. Good defense, and now North Quincy will be punting into a stiff breeze.
Well, Rendell tried to waggle out the backside, but Colson was right there. Stepped behind him and chased him down and made the tackle. So he put North Quincy in a hole. Great play by Colson, his senior year, playing 3 years for Quincy High, and great football player. And he was right in the right spot that time. So North Quincy now has got to punt that football from about their own 20-yard line, 15-yard line,
and
I guess.
A little confusion. North had to burn a timeout. So with 8 minutes to go, third quarter, 7-0 North Quincy. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Takes it at his 43, looking to get to the outside.
He's got it.
Back
He's got
to
it.
40,
He's got
45, 50.
He's got it.
He's to the 45, still on his feet to the 40.
He's going to go.
One
He's
man
going to go.
defeat. The punter has him at the 15-yard line. Mike Sheffer nearly broke that one. A touchdown saving tackle by the punter. Jimmy Finn saved a touchdown.
What a run, Charlie. He started a break over here, and he just outran 3 men to the sideline, went up to the sideline, just dodged and ran and wiggled, and finally got pulled down behind by the jersey. I tell you, this Mike Sheffer, I couldn't be any higher on my list as far as a football player. He can do anything on this football field. And as John just said, you can see this Quincy High School football team is really pumped. So North Quincy better dig in their heels right now.
We have got a football game, folks. Quincy is loaded for bear, at least right now. as Mark Glynn gives it to Conley. Up the middle. He's to the 10. He's to the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Goes Conley.
What a hole he had, a beautiful hole right up through the middle, and he just hit his knee on about the 1-yard line, maybe even less. I tell you, that Quincy line moved out then. Peter Cello must have had a few words. I could tell when he was talking to John down here on the sideline. He wasn't going into that locker room and whisper at that team. I'm sure that he pumped them up. And when Peter Cello gets mad, you darn well better listen. And that's what these kids from Quincy are doing right now. So North's right on their heel on the 6-yard line.
First and goal from the 1. Glynn calling signals. Full house backfield. Sheffer, they've got 12 men on the field. The Sheffer does get off in time. Long count, handoff straight ahead. Conley, touchdown. Quincy is on the board. It is 7-6.
They just pumped that ball right in there. The full house backfield. Both backs leading the block, and he went right up inside. He crossed that goal line with a few feet to spare. So Quincy's coming right back in this football game. Big important kick coming up here.
Tim Santos comes out with the kick, the junior.
Quincy's taking a timeout.
Quincy will call time, so it is 7-6. North Quincy's lead down to a point with 6:52 to go in the third quarter. And let's take another 30-second timeout.
Boy, it's noticeable. You notice that when...
Neither team scored. It was 0-0. With 7.5 minutes remaining in the half, Brian Walsh within 1 yard off left side.
It's like this.
Tim Finn kicked, but it was no good, but there was a penalty. And then on the second kick, it was good, and North led 7-0 at the half.
Right?
Kevin Conley,
But like you said, he's got to kick the knee off the ground.
The point after coming, and then we'll get down to John Nicholson. He and Peter Palmer are getting the atmosphere here, as you say, Tom, an important point after.
This could be a big difference right here. This could be a ball game or a tie ball game. As you say, Quincy's pumped. There might be more scoring, but you never know in a ball game like this.
Tim Santos with Mark Glynn to hold. Ball, it's a fake. He runs it around. He's in trouble and is taken down at the 17-yard line.
North is right on him. I don't know whether that was a planned play or not, Charlie. He seemed to pick it up, but he seemed to handle it poorly for the set down on the ground, and then he started to go around the end. Whether it's a planned play or not, I couldn't tell you.
All right, so North holds, so it is still 7-6. North's lead a scant point. And let's go down to John and Peter for the atmosphere and what they're feeling.
Yeah, there is a lot of change in momentum. You can notice it over
Early third quarter, North Quincy dodges a bullet, punts it away. Mike Sheffer fields it at his own 35-yard line or so. An electric punt return by Mike. Brings it down deep into North Quincy territory. Kevin Conley takes it down to the 1. Kevin Conley bangs it in. Gets the Presidents to within 7-6. They try for 2. That was a fake, okay? That was a design play. Didn't fool North Quincy. The score is North Quincy 7, Quincy Presidents 6. We got a ball game. Charlie Ross, back to you.
They held North with the opening kickoff of the third quarter. And Quincy looking to keep the momentum on their side of the field as Tim Santos kicks it away. It is a bit of a short kick. Walsh on the fly at the 20, 25, on his feet to the 30, 35, and dropped at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Santos, the kicker, takes him down.
Great field position for Quincy here. For North Quincy, Charlie, great position. A high kick, not much distance on it. This has been one of the problems with Quincy kicking off, and their punting has been poor, giving North Quincy very good field position all day.
Red Raiders come out. Jim Rendell with Tim Zanaboni, the fullback, Chris Ritchie at the wing, Brian Walsh, the tailback, and they give it to Walsh. Walsh hit at the line and drives forward for a couple of yards. On the coverage, Dan Nickel for Quincy High School. And it'll be 2nd down. Colson also in there for the Presidents.
Boy, they've been playing great football closer than that group in the middle there this morning. They've been playing real tough football for Quincy, and the same with that middle five in the North Quincy offense and defensive line. Can't say enough about those kids. You know, we talk about who's carrying the ball, who catches the ball, but they don't do it unless those linemen play football and walk in the middle and tack in the middle.
2nd and 9, Zanavoni in motion, give to Walsh. Breaks one tackle and is pretty much taken down in his tracks. Wilshire and John Ryan in there on the coverage for Quincy along with Don McCarthy. And we got a Quincy player. Oh, he's okay, just getting help to his feet. Scott McPherson. Nice defense Quincy has shown on these two plays. In North Quincy now 3rd and 9.
A little counter trap looked like, but Quincy stuffed it.
As the Red Raiders come out, Kylty is wide to the right. I formation again with the wing. And the play action, Craig Rendell looking over the middle, incomplete, looking for Plaskalavitas up at the 47-yard line. Plenty of coverage done in Conley for Quincy. Excuse me, and North will be forced to punt it away.
Well, on that pass, Charlie, there was plenty of pressure on Rendell. He just about had time to get the ball off. But I also noticed the coverage in the secondary. Great coverage by Quincy. They had 2 and 3 men on each receiver over here on this right-hand side. So they've been well schooled on what North Quincy's pass patterns are, and Rendell's been pretty well held in check today in his passing game. Now here's the punt, and this is a good punter for North Quincy usually.
Finn Shepard is deep. Finn gets it away, line drive. It's going to bounce at the 35, and Shepard's just going to watch this one die at about the 31-yard line. That's where Quincy will start. 5:10 to go, third quarter, 7-6. North leading Quincy back in 30 seconds. To the left, east of it, 35 and up to about the 36-yard line. Steve Rose making the stop for North Quincy along with Charlie Plaskalavitas, but not before a gain of 5 yards for Quincy.
Well, they got Conley running that sweep now. He got a little more speed than Dunn in there, and he runs it just a little bit better. He can turn the speed on, and he picked up a good 5 yards. North Quincy's defense now has got to dig in and keep Quincy from getting out of this, from getting out of their own territory, because they're certainly fired up in there.
I formation, receivers left and right. Glenn with the handoff to Dunn. His fullback goes to the right, and he's got maybe 3 yards up to the 39-yard line. He's going to be shy by a couple, and it will set up a 3rd and 2 for the Quincy Presidents. Tim Santos coming into the football game, so they're sending in the blockers.
Yeah, and that's what Dunn runs best. He runs best up inside. He doesn't run well around the end. He likes to power it up inside, and I think that's what they made a little adjustment. Here they are in a full house backfield, a little shifted to the left over here.
Glenn Culling signals 3 men in the backfield. Handoff, first down, up to the 45-yard line and more as Conley with first down yardage. Stop made by Matt Kylty of the North Quincy Red Raiders.
Well, Peter's got all his best backs in there, all lined up in a row. You don't know who's going to get the ball, and that was just a straight T handoff. The quarterback just stepped down the line to his left, and he hit that hole hard, went right off the tackle, a single one-on-one blocking, and he picked up that first down, a good 5 yards. Here's that full house again.
Sun breaking out here at the stadium on first down. Handoff on a misdirection to Dunn. Dunn to the 50, into Red Raider territory to the 47-yard line. A gain of 8 yards for Bill Dunn.
Here's this old-fashioned full house backfield. And he gave it to Dunn, as I said, Charlie. That's where he likes to run. Run up inside. He's got all his 3 good backs in there. He can run inside, outside, little fakes, full house blocking. He can get a couple of blockers out in front, and that's what he's trying to do. He's changed this offense, and the North isn't ready for this full house backfield. But they're all rolled up in that line now. The defense is all rolled up.
On second down, give to Conley again. Up the middle, he's got the first down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. goes Kevin Conley. Stopped for North Quincy by Norm Connell. Both teams 3-6 on the year, and they're playing pretty much an even game here in the second half.
Well, as I said earlier in the game, Charlie, there's a big difference. Quincy's got about a 15-pound weight advantage on that offensive line. There's a couple 230s, 240s up there, and that's what they're relying upon to wear North Quincy down now and just drive that ball up inside. Now they change formations. They're out on an eye with 2 wideouts.
On second down, the pitch goes to Conley, trying to turn the corner to the 40, and was nailed. Oh, Steve Rose just leveled Conley.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he's a terrific tackler, Charlie. He's made some great tackles all year long. He doesn't make a tackle above the socks and down around those ankles. That's where he is, and he brings them down. He brings them down quick, and he brings them down hard.
2 hard-earned yards for Conley. It is 2nd and 8 at the Red Raider 40. 1:56 to go, third quarter. 7-6. Red Raiders lead the Presidents. Backs off set to give to Conley. Hit at the line. Gets a yard. If that Paul Picciano, one of the captains, and there's a penalty flag.
Something in the middle, either a hold or it's against North Quincy.
Quincy absolutely killed themselves in the first half with penalties, grabbing the face mask against North Quincy.
Right in the middle.
So this will be marched off if it's incidental or intentional. If it's incidental, it's 5, and that's what it is, down to the 35-yard line, grabbing the face mask.
It'd be about 3 to go for first down. About 2.5, 3 yards to go.
So second down again, and just 3. Minute 42. Looking at those flags on the end of the goalpost. That wind now blowing more from west to east or across the field. Mark Glynn, the junior, calling signals. I formation behind him. Mitt's up on the play, gives it to Conley, but Glynn and Conley bumped into each other, and they lose about 3 yards. As somebody was supposed to zig, and they both zagged.
He was supposed to come off one side of the quarterback and the other. He came right straight on him, and they both bumped into each other. Bad play call, bad mistake by Quincy in there on a crucial situation. So now it's 3rd and about 6.
As the Presidents come out again with the full house backfield, Santos, Conley, and Dunn from right to left. Glynn calling signals, and they give it to Conley. He's inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line. He's close to first down yardage. These officials have not given them good spots today, but he gets a good one there at the 33, but he's still going to be shy.
But you know, Charlie, I just wondered, they were having great success with that full house backfield that first three or four plays in this series, and that gives you a lead block. It gives you plenty of power, just straight ahead blocking. And then they went into an eye, and they seemed to lose yardage. But here they are back, and I think Quincy would be better off if they stayed in it.
Big play for Quincy, 4th and less than a yard. Hand off to Conley, straight ahead. He should have first down yardage to about the 32-yard line.
Got it.
Chris Ritchie on the stop, and it is a first down for Quincy. 12 seconds, to go in this third quarter.
Well, Quincy obtain 2 things if they stay in that. They don't fumble the football, and they make sure their handoffs. They'll lead up the clock, and they'll have plenty of lead blockers, and they'll use their weight up inside. That's what I think Peter Cello wants to do.
We've reached the end of the third quarter at the stadium. Quincy on the board, but not enough as North Quincy hangs on by a scant point now. It is North 7, Quincy 6. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and then we'll be back with fourth quarter action.
All right, we've reached the end of the third quarter. It's the North Quincy Red Raiders 7, the Quincy Presidents 6. I was talking with some of the Quincy players. Peter Cello really didn't have a lot to say at halftime. The Quincy players were mostly talking amongst themselves, and I'll say talk for lack of a better term. Whatever they did, they've come out in the third quarter. They've reestablished their game. They've dominated the line. They've taken over the emotion. North Quincy trying to hold on here. Quincy on the march. They have a first down at the North Quincy, we'll say 30-yard line to start the fourth quarter. 7-6 game. Sun actually starting to come out. Wind dying down a little bit. I'm still cold. Now I'm starting to get hungry. What more can you ask for? Great high school football. We're going to send it back up to Charlie Ross for the fourth quarter.
So this fourth quarter is going to be a good one. Super game so far. This is going to be a great quarter. We're down by, Quincy's down by 1, and the score 7-6. Great game so far. This is a good game.
Charlie, we'll try to see now how the momentum will stay and if it'll shift again.
Tell Peter watch that Weir, or he won't be fixing any cars up in North Quincy.
Here's Quincy back in that full house. They're just going to, everybody from North Quincy rolled up to safety, everyone.
First and 10, Dunn in motion. Lynn rolls to the right, got some blocking out in front of him. 35, 30, 25. Down for about 8 yards goes Mark Lynn on the bootleg to the right. Called his own number, and pretty good yardage.
Yeah.
They mark him out at the 25-yard line, so a gain of 6.
Well, they lined up the full house, and they sent a man in motion to the right to block. And as we said, Glenn can run with the football. He's got great speed. He can sweep. He can run the option, and so he brought himself back into the running aspect of this football game. Here's the full house again.
On second down, they give it to Bill Dunn. Dunn getting to the 20, dragging a white jersey behind him for an extra couple of yards. As Tim Zanaboni on the stop along with Mike Ferguson for the North Quincy Red Raiders, and it should be enough for a first down. It is for the Quincy Presidents. Tom, during the break, you said in your opinion this thing's going to go right down to the end.
Yes, I think so. And as I was talking with Hank Conway, we both agreed that Dunn should be running up inside, not around, and that's come true here. See the great yardage, he likes to run inside. He's got the power.
Double wing formation, pitch to Conley. Conley falls forward to the 15-yard line, tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but kept his balance and got a few yards. Eric Malamaze on the stop. They mark it at the 17, so give him 3. Second down and 7. 8:30 to go in this football game. North Quincy hanging on right now by a precarious one.
North Quincy has got everybody rolled up. They got the safety 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and here's the full house backfield. They might be open. Now they're shifting to 2 wideouts. Let's see what happens on this one.
Dunn in motion. Glenn, quarterback keeper. He's to the 15. Yep. He's to about the 12-yard line. He had the option to pitch it out to Conley, but kept it inside, and it will be third down. They mark him as we watch the ball being spotted at the 14-yard line. So it's going to be third and a long 3. Almost 4. We'll call it 4 for the Quincy Presidents.
Well, he was going to pitch. He runs that option, but it's awful dangerous. Sometimes he runs it very well, and other times he pitches it very poorly. But here's the full house again. They're going to go right at him.
On third down, some movement. I think Quincy jumped off. I believe the left end jumped off for Quincy, and that's going to cost him 5, and it will be third and 8.
Big break for North Quincy there. That was a third down with about 4. Now they get third down, 9 yards to go. So Quincy again, the big penalty hurt them. They had to keep themselves on side. Again, they got hit by the penalty, but a great break for North Quincy in there.
Well, let's see what Quincy calls. Are they keeping on the ground?
No, they don't. They got to go after something. They got to go a screen or hit the tight end or the pass or a spread out pass. This kind of puts them in a hole. Let's see what they're going to do, but I don't think they can power it up 9 yards.
From the eye with receivers left and right, there's some movement, and let's see, North's pointing, Quincy, and Quincy doing likewise at the other side, but let's see.
I think North moved first, but let's see what the officials say.
As referee Bruce Sutcliffe
It's going to be against Quincy.
So Quincy doing what they did in the first half, and that was digging a hole for themselves penalty-wise. They have not only made this this third down even worse. They've taken themselves out of any possible field goal.
Well, now North Quincy can loosen up that defense a little bit. They can step back a few yards and look for the pass, look for the screen. They don't have to play tight because they get big yardage to pick up here.
3rd down and 14 for Quincy as Glenn hands it off to Conley. Conley up the middle to the 15-yard line.
Well, we got.
And he's going to be 5 yards short. So
we're going to go for a TD, or are we going to go for a field goal here?
let's see.
Great position for it.
Bob Noble sends out Glenn. Let's see. Now Conley time. They're going to they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Santos is in the game, but he doesn't have the kicking tee, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 4. Quincy with the ball at the north 15-yard line.
They're going to take a timeout. They're not sure. Timeout. Yeah, they better, because they had a man running around the backfield. They weren't too sure on that.
So Quincy calls time with 6:08 to go in the game. It is 7-6 North Quincy. Let's take a 30-second timeout. In this football game, North hanging on by a point, 7-6. And let's see what Quincy will do. As Tom has said, the full house backfield has worked very well for Quincy in this half.
Well, you know, Charlie, right now the ball is right in the middle. I don't know. I don't suppose they have a field goal kicker, but it certainly would seem like it would be an option with all that distance to go, and you know, being behind by 7-6 score. But you know, I don't know what they've got in the way of field goal kickers and so forth and so on. But
Santos is the kicker. He's been pretty good this year. I don't believe he's got a field goal, but
Peter's going to go for the whole ball of wax here. They get the full house backfield again.
The wind is in their face, so that's not to their advantage.
It's all rolled up. The defense
4 from the 15-yard line. Bootleg Glenn looking. He's to the 15, still on his feet. He's to the 12. He did not get the first down.
Just shot about a yard.
Some of the North players indicating first down, but no way.
No.
The knee hit at the 12.
Yep.
North holds and goes on offense, 1st and 10. As the defense held Glenn on the bootleg, stretched, but the officials ruled the knee went down at the 12. Even though the ball may have been at the 10, the knee hit at the 12, and it is first down North Quincy at their own 12-yard line.
Well, I think he was looking for the pass. It was a sprint out, but he loves to run that football, and he knows how to run it if he hasn't had any receivers open, and he didn't have, so he put it on and almost made it.
Well, now it's up to the defense for Quincy. They need the ball back as Rendell hands it off to Walsh, and Walsh was cut down immetally. The shoulder,
I tell you who it
just nailed it. I believe it was Scott McPherson who put his shoulder into Brian Walsh and put him down for no gain.
Yeah, number 80.
Or John Ryan then.
Yeah, Ryan, I think it was, yeah. Boy, he stood him right up straight. Walsh hasn't been hit that hard in a long while. I'll tell you, he's a tough runner, but he stood him right up on that tackle. North Quincy's going to hold out. They got to get out of this area, because if they don't, they got to punt from down here. Quincy will have good field position. So North's got to move that football.
Johnson, lone man in the backfield. He's in trouble. Gets away from one man at the 5. Still in trouble, and is ridden down with a flag thrown at the 8-yard line.
What is that for?
Let's see what the flag will be.
I hate to see it for either team. You know, it's too bad.
Let's see what the call will be, as a good play by the Quincy defense. Peter Colson, one of the captains, talking to the officials.
Maybe a face mask against Quincy, I think.
Well, yep, and that's what it is, face mask against Quincy. And that
not deliberate, I hope.
That will wipe out what was a good defensive play for Quincy. It is a 5-yard penalty, so it puts the ball at the 17. North will get 2nd down once again, and it will be 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, good break for North Quincy in there. Stupid move on Quincy, but I don't think it was intentional. Those things will happen when you're trying to grab somebody at an angle. But that was sure a break for North Quincy.
Rendell calling signals. Full house, or excuse me, I formation. Some movement in that line
North
for
moved
Quincy. And let's see, Tom says North moved. He
I
watches
think their
the
back
line.
move. I think their backs move too.
I
I don't know. I think they pulled Quincy off, but let's see what the officials say.
As I
No,
saw
it's gonna
Quincy
go, yeah.
lineman moving, and Quincy there, they're doing it again to themselves. That's
Yeah.
going to give North a first down. Offside, it will put the ball at the 24-yard line. So penalties have given North Quincy a first down.
Well, it's sure is a good break for North Quincy, but tough on Quincy. They've just given up the adage on the penalties again.
Under 5 minutes to go in the game. North 7, Quincy 6. I formation. Rendell pitches to Walsh. Walsh going right side. He's got some room. He's to the 30, 35, and out of bounds at his own 40-yard line. But there is a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage. It looks like it may come back against North Quincy.
Yeah. Great run by Walsh. He got around the end. I can see the end get knocked down, and he got around him and get over to the 40. But now looks like Quincy's getting a break. Either a holding penalty in here, looks like.
So the penalty will...
Oh, 15
Moving
yarder,
back,
15 yards. Holding, yeah. Yeah.
Says holding.
Yeah.
So the break goes the other way. We'll see if Quincy can capitalize on it. As North Quincy, well, actually neither quarterback is
Still
playing.
first down, huh?
First and 20.
Yeah.
First and 23. As the ball is handed off to Walsh, and he submarines his way up to the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 12. North Quincy right now very content, but Quincy's going to use the timeout with 4:36 to go in the game. It is North 7, Quincy 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds. There's a check for Mike at the gate.
So you better not lose us on this one because this is going right down to the wire, Charlie.
Oh, absolutely.
North Quincy is in a hole down here, but they've got to get that football out. They've got to hang on it. They can't give that football up down in this area. They've got to move it out and possibly get that first down or punt it out of there, but they got a long way to go for a first down now.
Defensive struggle this has been.
It's against everything that we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be a wide-open game. We thought that both defenses hadn't shown much this year, but they certainly have. North Quincy's played great defense. So hasn't Quincy.
2nd and 20, pitch to Brian Walsh. He's to the 15, up to the 17, and is driven back. Bill Dunn in there along with Don McCarthy for the Quincy Presidents. So North with a 3rd down. North's passing game, I don't know if they've had a passing game today.
No,
I
they
don't
haven't.
recall one.
No, they haven't. I don't know if they completed a pass all day. I can't remember one offhand. There's another timeout. This is on North Quincy this time.
Quincy called timeout.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I thought
Quincy
you pointed.
timeout, 4:17 to go in the game, 7-6. North leading Quincy. Will take it.
He's been playing back in 4 or 5 days, so he's really a great guard when it comes to athletic injuries and all the rest.
3rd and 15.
It's open.
Rendell looking out, throwing, intercepted by Mike Sheffer up the 42-yard line. Flag back at the line of scrimmage.
What did I tell you, Charlie? Sheffer's come up with an interception in every game, and this is the one he came up with today. But there's a flag. I don't know what it's about back there, but there's all Mike Sheffer coming up with the big play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against Quincy. The interception will go for naught, and it should be a first down for the North Quincy Red Raiders. As Sheffer's still on the ground, he's
Yeah, he's disgusted.
He's disgusted, and the Yankees still cramping there. And an underthrown pass by Rendell. And, well, Rendell all year, he's hit his receivers right in the numbers, and they haven't been able to hang on to it. Today, Rendell isn't throwing the ball as well. He's underthrown and overthrown when he has thrown. And that interception goes or not. If Quincy goes on to lose this game, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
Yeah, and they're out there playing the game, and they're the ones that make the mistakes, not the coaches. Quincy came in here well coached today, and they know what they were doing. They had a good game plan, and it's too bad the foolish penalties hurt them. North Quincy's played a good game too defensively. They've done a great job out here, and they've taken advantage of the Quincy mistakes. But actually, in this half, it's been mostly Quincy moving the football and coming up with one touchdown. And if you were the coach, you'd say, "Gee, we should have had that second one if we didn't kill ourselves on the penalties down in inside the 20-yard line."
Well, they're still working on Sheffer looking at his left foot. And I don't know whether he's got more than a cramp or not. Coach Peter Cella is out there as well.
Well, I hate to see Mike go down in the last part of the game like this because, believe me, he's number one on my list. He's a great football player, an all-scholastic candidate, offense and defense, and running, as you saw it today, the fans saw it today, running back kicks, intercepting passes. He's intercepted a pass or two in just about every game this year. Has been a leader on this team, and he and Colson and a few of the other seniors have really played tremendous for Quincy, and the same with North Quincy. I was to the banquet the other night at the Hall of Fame, and it's been the smallest group of seniors that we've seen from both schools. I think there were 12 from North. It might be one or two short here or there, but I think it was only 12 from North and maybe 11 from Quincy, and it's the smallest contingent of seniors both schools we've ever seen at the banquet. So that says a lot for inexperience. It says a lot for next year. There'll be a lot of kids coming back playing next year.
Both teams.
Both teams will be up there next year, and both coaches, Kenny McPhee has done a great job with the young team, and so has Peter Cella and his staff. And both staffs should be congratulated.
Well, Sheffer walks off under his own power. He sits on the bench, and his day may be done. It is North first down at their own 33. Give it to Brian Walsh on the sweep. He's in trouble, breaks tackles. Back at the 30, still on his feet, and is finally hauled down at the 29-yard line. Quincy missed some tackling, but they got enough people there that they finally corralled Brian Walsh. John McCarthy bringing him down. Jake Drowan, Colson, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Colson's a little shook out there.
Colson's a little shaken up, but Walsh just had nowhere to run, and they finally surrounded him and took him down. 3:35 clock moving.
Great tackling in there today by Quincy. Walsh has been a great runner, but I tell you, Quincy's been up to his run. They put some good sticks on him today.
Second down and 14. They give it to Walsh. Once again, he's got a hole. He's to the 40. 45. First down, North Quincy. Just as you said, they've held him in check. Brian Walsh with his biggest run of the day. It is first down, North Quincy at their own 49-yard line.
Well, Quincy looks a little tired, and they just kind of edged off a little bit, and then Walsh just hit that line on a straight handoff. And boy, if you don't hear him on that other side of the line of scrimmage, and he gets a full head of steam, he's gone. He's got great speed and power. And Quincy just let up on him, and he'll take advantage of it.
3:01, 3 minutes to go. North 7, Quincy 6. First and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Rendell on a handoff to Tim Zanaboni up the middle. Quincy gang tackling Zanaboni. One play too late, but no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Don McCarthy with the stop. Quincy calls time. 2:49 to go in the game. North 7, Quincy 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. If North hangs on to the ball, Quincy will not get the shot to take the lead. If Quincy comes up big defensively, they may get another shot at it. So it's all in the hands of both teams. They can win or lose the game depending on what they do in the next.
It looks like to me, Charlie, looking at it, looks like Quincy's getting a little tired up there. Mark Quincy, I think, is picking up. Quincy's up, rolled everybody up to stop rush.
Second down, Walsh gets the handoff, bobble the football briefly, but pulled it back in, but hit at the line and taken down. Quincy, I believe, is out of timeouts. Dan Nickel on the stop, I believe that referee Bruce Sutcliffe indicated that Quincy had used their timeout, so North right now will take their 30 seconds, maybe even take a penalty if they have to.
Quincy looks a little more tired. Quincy looks a little more tired than Mark right now. Lost up the football. Quincy's been, really playing. They look a little tired.
On 3rd and 10 from the 50-yard line, handoff to Walsh, in trouble. Quincy with 2:05 will have the ball at the 50-yard line.
As I often said, in all these games, Quincy kids, no fault in Quincy, they never quit. They suck it up and they play football. And Walsh, they really rocked that time up in the middle. I couldn't see who hit it. It was 2 or 3 people, but out came the football and Quincy fell on it. So here we go with Quincy. So last chance, really, to see what they can do offensively.
Receivers left and right, pitch going to Conley. Kevin Conley trying to sweep to the right in center behind the line. Taken down.
Great defense over there by the end and the corner, Mark Quincy. Yeah, rolls again. Great defense by Mark Quincy. He couldn't get outside. There was no room. They shoved the blockers aside and made the tackle.
Quincy with 1:41 clock moving. They're out of timeouts. It's 2nd and 12. Mark Lynn's got to go to the air. He has Sheffer right back in the game. Nunez left. Play action fake. Bootleg.
Walsh came in from the left end. There was a blocker over here from Quincy. He just ran right over his face and went in and hit the Quincy quarterback before he could even get his arm up. What a play by Walsh over here. We talk about his offensive runs, but he made 1 or 2 mistakes today playing end because he's over-aggressive. But when he makes up his mind to get in there, he'll do the job.
3rd and 22 for Quincy. Glenn under center, has the time, has the protection. Looking long. Conley at the 35-yard line. Conley, the intended receiver, had a trio of white jerseys all around him. And with 54 seconds to go, Quincy comes down to 4th and 22 from their own 39-yard line.
Well, they put it up where they wanted to. You got to go for the long one. There's a Mark Quincy people. Players telling the fans to pick up the cheer over here. Now pretty close. About 1 good play to go. Quincy's right on the line right now. This is it.
Nunez and Conley split wide left, Sheffer wide right. 4th and 22. Quincy has to get to the north 40. Glenn back to pass. He has the time. Has Sheffer.
Quincy hasn't got a timeout, but they're going to move them out.
37 seconds to go. Quincy at the north 5 yards.
Oh, baby, what a run he made down that sideline. Mobley was out there when he went around 2 people. So now Quincy's taking the timeout now. As you said, Charlie, I don't think Quincy had any left.
He's going to watch the replay here as Sheffer and let's see who it was. I think it was Jimmy Finn.
All right.
And Finn caught up with him and left him at the 4-yard line. But once Sheffer caught the ball, he had to do the clothesline. He was very close to going out of bounds, but he hung to it and just took it down the right sideline.
Here's Quincy now. 39 seconds, 37 seconds to go, and then a full-out backfield. Here we go, right down the hard-nosed football.
Santos, right half, Conley in the middle, done. They give it to Conley. He gets to about the 4-yard line. 31 seconds. They're going to have to put it down.
Throw it down.
25-24. Quincy is out of timeouts as
That's it.
Glenn puts it down. 19 seconds. And it will set up a 3rd and goal. And let's see if Quincy Santos comes out with a kicking tee. Quincy's going to go for the victory with a field goal as Peter Cella has made the call.
What a ball game this is. I'll tell you. I think he can put it over from there. Now North Quincy's got to dig in.
As Santos with Glindahoe will put it down at the 10. It's a 20-yard field goal attempt to win the game for Quincy. Ball down, kick is up, long enough, high enough, it's good!
It's good!
With 13 seconds to go, Tim Santos puts a 20-yard field goal through as Quincy takes a 9-7 lead.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And as I told you, Charlie, that Shepherd kid, he'll always come through, and he did. And then they came through with the kick. And they checked the North team over there. My goodness, they had this ball game. And Shepherd took it away from him, I'll tell you. They had him on that up here in midfield. I thought they were going to hold him. And I guess myself and everyone in this park, you included, thought the ball game was over as far as Quincy was concerned. But what a way to end a football game. As we said in the beginning, it's going to be right down to the wire, the big play. And gee, gosh, it happened.
Unbelievable. 13 seconds to go. And we'll see how Quincy does this. They've got whether they kick it long or wedge it. North Quincy, aside from the front wedge, they're all receivers and running backs. So if they kick it to the second line, well, North Quincy's got 13 seconds, so if they kick it, fall on it, and maybe get one more play. I'm still in shock that Mike Sheffer had single coverage.
He come out of there.
He had single coverage on that play. He got by the man, and that's the difference. It is a short kick taken by one of the up men, one of the line at the 45. He gets it to the 47. 8 seconds left. Time for North Quincy. One play to pull a rabbit out of their hat, as they will have the ball at their own 48-yard line, and Jim Rendell has not had a good day throwing the ball, but he can change all that with one wave of his arm. And let's see what he's going to do as everybody. Zanaboni is out there, Walsh is out there, Simchenko is out there, as he's going to have to, go long. We'll see what happens. As they come out, they send trips to the left.
Well, Quincy's got to play, they got to put everybody back there in that secondary, not let anybody get behind him. And Rendell's got his work cut out for him. And the line from North Quincy's got a block on this play.
8 seconds to go, 9-7, Quincy lead. Rendell with a pass to Walsh, incomplete.
Hit the ground.
4 seconds to go, and Walsh just threw the ball at a Quincy player, and flags all over the field, and we have pandemonium out on the field.
All right, they're going back to the bench.
Oh, my.
Quincy and North Quincy coaches are out there.
Yep. As Com has
somebody's hurt down here, though.
Been restored, but we've got an injured Quincy player, and it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against North Quincy. And if it wasn't tough enough, then they're going to have to go from 15 yards further back.
Well, Walsh lost his temper, and he has a bad temper, and that's what happens.
The injured player, Don McCarthy, holding his right shoulder. He's up and walks off the field under his own power. And Let's see, the officials are sending each team to their respective sideline. I'm not sure if we had offsetting unsportsmanlike calls. As
maybe somebody said something after it too. I didn't see any Quincy kid hit anybody, but
let's see if they're going to mark the 15
that might have
yards
been
off. Yep, they're going to mark it off against North Quincy for.
Maybe they're going to be offsetting.
Yep, it's back to the line of scrimmage and apparently offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct calls.
Now, I hate to see that in a North Quincy game. I had never seen any problems fighting in a North Quincy game since I've been watching them, and we don't want any now.
Second down, but that doesn't matter. Here it goes. This is the game. Rendell throws it for Plaskovitas. Incomplete. The game is over. The Quincy Presidents have come back to defeat the North Quincy Red Raiders on a Tim Santos 20-yard field goal with 13 seconds to go.
Pandemonium raised. They're all out of the field. All the Quincy players are out on the field. All the fans are running out. What a football game as far as Quincy is concerned. And over on the other side, the North Quincy kids are holding their heads. They just can't believe that Quincy took this ball game away from them on that one big play by Shepard's reception down the sideline. So I don't know. It's they're going to have the ceremony now out here for the official, but they're going to have to take a little while, Charlie, because it's pandemonium out there in the middle of that field as far as Quincy is concerned. And looking over poor dejected North Quincy team, they played a great ball game out here. And as we said, something always happens in these games one way or another to make it interesting. Quincy's on the long end and North got on the short end, but boy, what great football game this was. It went against everything we thought. We thought it was going to be offensive all the way, but just a couple of big plays, but it was great defense. And here's the North Quincy team now coming over to shake hands. Good sportsmanship here between these two teams. We never any trouble here, and the game is over, and they're good friends again. But there was a heartbreaking loss for North Quincy and a great win for Quincy today.
Absolutely. We see School Superintendent Gene Creenan wearing a blue, white, red, and black hat. I think he got that from his brother. I think his brother used to wear that hat. And he has the championship trophy. They're doing the handshaking right now, but they will do the...
I'm looking at Kenny McPhee now. He's got a football. He's kind of talking it up. He's not getting. He's trying to get his head clear over there, and just remember this one for a long time. He's just saying to us, how do we ever let this one get away today?
Well, the officials, as John mentioned earlier on, the officials are going to have a little presentation of one of their cohorts retiring, and Ken McPhee goes over that way now, shaking the hands of the officials. And
but a tough year for Ken. He's lost his mother this year, and his team hasn't. He's had a young team. He's had to work awful hard at it. He's been very tired. I've talked to him from time to time. He's worked awful hard, he and the staff, and this is a tough way to lose the big game in the last few seconds of a football game. But Kenny has always got his head on right. Always a gentleman, knows how to win and knows how to lose too, and that's and also knows how to coach. On the other hand, Peter Cheller over there has done a great job. He and the staff this year brought a Quincy team along that was so inexperienced, and what a difference in the way they played today from some of the games we saw them play early in the year.
Well, John Nicholson is down there with Ken McPhee, and I know he's trying to get the attention of the people, and I think they're going to have a presentation to one of the officials.
We are, Charlie. One of the officials is retiring, and we're going to have a little presentation ceremony and turn it over to referee Sutcliffe.
John Conley, after 33 years on the field as an official, is retiring today. It's his last game, and John, I speak on behalf of the entire association, especially the crew. It's been a real pleasure, and we're really going to miss you a lot. And courtesy of the Quincy school system, here's the game ball. Many, many happy years.
Sorry, I can't work the sideline again for this ball game. It's a great football game to officiate, and today is an example of it. Two good coaches, two great games. Thank you very much. My fellow officials, I don't have anything to say except I'll tell them in the dressing room.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for being so cooperative with us. And Charlie, if it's all right, I'll hold it down
John,
here
I
for just
gotta
a
go.
second.
They're getting Superintendent Credence in the middle of the Quincy players, so you might want to get in there. I think they're going to do the trophy presentation.
Yeah, we'll walk over
pretty
here
quickly.
and see if
So
we can,
head on into that.
Chief
9 to
Creighton and
7. If
Athletic
you're
Director Billy Walker, and they are so happy here, Charlie. These Quincy players that it's going to take a second just to calm everybody down, and then the superintendent can go ahead and make the presentation along with Athletic Director Bill Walker and the Principal Lloyd Hill of Quincy High School. So we're getting set for the presentation, and Superintendent Creedon.
It's a great game, wonderful day. We're particularly proud and pleased of both schools. It was a wonderful, wonderful 63rd playing of this great game. I guess we're ready, Mr. Walker.
Absolutely.
To present to Coach Cheller and his captains the city trophy. Congratulations, well deserved.
This was a typical North Quincy barn burner. I knew it would come down to the end. It was a tremendously hard-fought game. I wasn't sure we were going to win. North played so well. You guys played a terrific game. Terrific game. Nobody has to hang their head. It was super football, hard-hitting football, right down to the end. And our seniors won for it. A great game. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
One question, Coach Cheller, if we can ask you. There was 19 seconds on the clock. It was second down, and you went for the field goal. When did you make that decision?
We made the decision as soon as we got the ball down there. We knew we were going to try and take it to the left, set up the field goal right in the middle of the goalpost, kill the ball, and then kick the field goal. We had the whole thing planned.
Good enough. Thank you very much.
Oh, Tim Santos kicks the field goal for us.
John, if you could ask Coach Cheller what he said at halftime.
I will. Coach, can we ask you, what did you say to the kids at halftime?
Well, I told them that we had played such a poor half and we're only down 7-0, that if we just turned it around, I thought we could win. And we did. Thank you.
And that was a great run at the end, too.
It was a terrific run. Thank you.
Thanks again, Coach. And Charlie, I'm going to talk to the young man that kicked the field goal. You made a memory of a lifetime here this morning, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Dr. Sheffer.
I just didn't want to let the seniors down. They worked hard all the year. They stayed behind us. They picked up the end of the class when we were down. And, hey, to the seniors, Billy Dunn, Mike Sheffer, good luck the rest of your life, boys.
All right. Charlie will
John, if you could try and find number 9, Mike Sheffer.
I am looking for him.
He's
And,
the one that set the...
he's the one that made that incredible run.
Unbelievable.
I was standing right beside him when he made it, and I don't know how he danced that tightrope. I really don't.
I thought he was going to go out of bounds, but he somehow caught it, got one, and he was single coverage with a defensive back, and I was amazed that he had the single coverage, number 1, and then number 2, that he did indeed dance the tightrope, and that's what all the...
Down on the field, and what was a tremendously exciting high school football game. Tim Santos bangs through a 20-yard field goal. About 10 seconds left in the game. Quincy comes from behind, defeats North Quincy 9-7. It was supposed to be a close game. It was a close game. Tremendous intensity on both sides. I'd like to tip my cap to Mike Sheffer. Tremendous game. He was the catalyst for Quincy. 2 big plays, one a punt return, one a quail of a pass that he caught and went about 60 yards to set up the game-winning field goal. Just tremendous effort by both these teams. Neither team has anything to be ashamed about. Quincy's first back-to-back wins since 1977-1979. Mark Lynn, the Quincy starting quarterback, 2-0 now on Thanksgiving. From myself, on behalf of Quincy Cable, all the crew, my wife Jackie, my son Brian, my daughter Jen, we'd like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy this game. It was a great game to watch. A little cool, but it was a great game to watch, and it was a great time to be here. Thanks a lot. See you all. Hope you have a great holiday. This is Don Hayes. See ya.